Arms, one of my favorite games of all time, is a fresh take on the fighting genre. It seems simple at first glance, however the different abilities and stats of each fighter, when combined with the unique properties of each arm, mean that there are potentially infinite ways to mold your own unique playstyle and adapt to your opponent's unique playstyles. My goal for this video is to give anyone looking to get into competitive arms a basic view of what each character is going to play like. One important thing to note is that in arms, the arms and gloves you choose have a much bigger impact on your playstyle than the characters themselves. Therefore, the descriptions in this video are not concrete set in stone laws you must follow as each character, but simple guidelines based on what the average player is normally doing. With that information out of the way, let's begin our look into the characters of arms. Springman is the simplest character to understand and can easily fit most playstyles, and as such, most arms work really well with him. His deflect ring can be used to counter poke from afar or force his way in, and his small size and average speed allow him to evade fairly well. On low health, comeback is a powerful tool you can use to frustrate the opponent with constant charge punches and pressure that can turn matches around. With Springman, you must be able to constantly change your playstyle on the fly. Quick, speedy evasion is the name of the game with Ribbon Girl, as her small size, multiple jumps, and multiple air dashes along with her quick drops allow her to weave her way around the opponent's punches and leave them open to attack if she keeps her jumps and dashes unpredictable. Armed with fast extension times and large reliable hitboxes work well with Ribbon Girl, allowing her to get in free hits once the opponents miss their own punches. Ninjara's warps from blocks and in the air means he is hardly ever truly in a disadvantaged state. However, his offense is not as bulletproof as it would first appear. Ninjara must then use his lack of a defensive state to his own advantage to move around the stage and stay safe, while harassing his opponent with smart punches that don't leave him open. Armed with fast traction time, work well with the student of stealth. The Grim Creeper lives up to his name, as his devastating grab, super armor, and massive arm girth allow him to slowly push and bully opponents into a corner where he can limit their escape options by shrugging off normal punches while his own offense becomes unreactable. If the situation calls for it, he can also sit back and heal to get down to the wire timeout wins or bait unsafe approaches. Arms that limit and control the opponent's movement or shut down the opponent's offense work well with Master Mummy. The Scrapyard Genius's mech suit can be effective with a similar dominating cornering playstyle to Master Mummy. However, her ability to be mobile while throwing charge punches allows her to be less tilted in neutral, charge just quickly, and suffocate the opponent with a continuous barrage of hits. Players must learn to switch between poking at range and cornering with armor effectively with Mechanica. Arms that work well with her allow her to take advantage of her playstyle changing between poking and bully quickly. Min Min's dragon arm becoming permanently charged unless she is knocked down means that she is able to constantly put on mobile pressure that for other characters will be limited to only a few seconds. Players should then use her defect clicks to deny knockdowns while being able to bully and harass constantly whether up close or at range with her charged dragon arm. Arms that put on noticeable amounts of pressure and control when charged fit the Ramen Bomber well. Helix is one of the most unique fighters in this game. Despite his low mobility, his tower mode and puddle forms can make him hard to pin down. He can constantly poke while dodging in his perma-charged tower mode, and he can duck under most arms while in his puddle form. Use his unique evasive abilities to pressure constantly with normal punches while remaining slippery and hard to hit. All glove arms and notably the Hydra work very well with Helix. Kid Cobra's main advantage is his mobility, especially when charged, and his quick short hop means he can get charged more easily than most. His massive jump distance, charge speed, and continuous movement while being able to slide under punches mean he can get to close range and pressure or escape and retreat with a frightening level of quickness. He excels at pressuring opponents with his speed and his massive arm girth if he remains unpredictable. He works well with arms that take up a lot of space and give him ways to force defensive options. The dog and cop duo are challenging to push their max potential, but specializing in redirecting focus, Bark by himself can provide slight support for his punches and can give an elevation advantage and mix-ups to Bite with occasional punches and acting as a mobile one-hit shield. This is when Bite can take advantage and punish this lacking concentration either up close or at range. They work well with arms that can harass at range or provide strong pressure up close. Twintail's ability to slow down punches give her the opportunity to close distances safely by neutralizing the opponent's pokes from range. When up close, she can efficiently stay on top of her opponent due to being able to react to almost anything they do. She can easily create suffocating mix-up situations that are almost impossible for her opponent to escape after being knocked down. Given this, she works well with ice arms that heighten her wake-up pressure even further. Max Brass is the most overbearing character, especially when buffed up, with super armor, massive arm girth, high grab damage, long charge time, and a deflect. Suffocating on wake up, Brass is perhaps the best in the game at turning neutral situations to his advantage once he is able to get buffed. His comeback ability is unparalleled as it brings together many of the best tools to pressure up close or poke at range, while gaining increased mobility. He works well with most arms, but especially arms that are good up close or can cause knockdowns where he can pressure his opponent. Her mobility options when shielding give Lollipop unique ways of pressuring, retreating, and mixing up opponents to create openings. Her shield dashes and bounces provide a wide variety of options, though each individually punishable can answer any choice from the opponent. She is especially dangerous at the mid-range, where a massive option pool means she can threaten in ways completely unique to her. Unpredictability is key to success with the Candy Clown. She works well with arms that keep opponents at a distance and on the back foot with as few options as possible. Likely the most technical fighter in arms, Misango can fit almost any matchup. His totem pillar gives him a strong option to stop pressure while staying safe and poking from behind it. However, his true strength lies in his masks. Red mask allows him to push and bully opponents into a corner, while blue mask allows him to evade opponents' punches and create openings. Finally, yellow mask gives him a big incentive to poke constantly, allowing him to charge rush much more quickly. He can then use yellow mask to create fear with the threat of an invincible rush. More so than almost any other fighter, his arm choice must change to fit matchups. However, having an arm that is able to curve around the totem is useful for Misango. The robot replica has a unique ability in his EMP wave that, though threatening, is hard to set up without being countered. This means a player must constantly utilize his deflect ring and the threat of an EMP to deter punches. When charged from an EMP, Springtron must then use his great mobility and his constant charge to pressure with charged arms while being mobile and evasive, creating his own openings. He works well with wind and ice arms, which give him the ability to produce an EMP without risk of being countered. However, he works well with most arms, similarly to Springman. Her ability to fly and shield at any time, as well as having invisibility and reduced vulnerability on wake up, made Dr. Coil difficult to pin down. Her extra arm also gives her a powerful poking and rush building capability. Coil's playstyle centers on using her third arm to harass at range until she gains an advantage. She can then use her inherent height advantage and smooth movement to smother opponents with pressure while avoiding being cornered herself. The Alba arm that creates strong pressure without sacrificing Dr. Coil's mobility work well with her. This concludes my little dive into the playstyles of each fighter. Hopefully these descriptions allow you to have a greater understanding of what each character would normally focus on. As you could see, I also made a chart as a summary for this information, and there's a link to the image in the description. I want to thank all the players I contacted and the members of the ARM Central Discord who I harassed for weeks trying to get this information together. You guys are the reason I even felt comfortable to try making something like this in the first place. ARM is a game that I feel has great potential, but really has a small target audience. In general, not many people are going to be willing to push to get better and dive below the surface of games, especially with a concept as novel as what ARMS is. Though Mr. Yabuki and his team have clearly put a lot of effort and passion into the game, I can't truly recommend this game to people only looking to play through the Grand Prix a few times and return to online occasionally to get this game at full price. However, if anyone sees ARMS up for $40 or less, I would absolutely go for it every time. The experience of the game by itself is something I believe is worth experiencing, even if only once. If this video made you interested in competitive ARMS, then the best place to go is the ARMS Central Discord. If they are willing to put up me making this video, then they will no doubt help you get better, no matter what level you are at or what questions you're asking. Finally, don't be afraid to try something new either. You may just be the new meta innovator. With all that out of the way, this has been the Jamaican Gamer, and everybody, walk easy.